Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, Barakatah. Double honors to the elders and the apostles and the righteous men of Great Millstone who teach us this truth and righteousness and sincerity and in brotherly love. And salutations to the hopeful elect, the 144,000 men of Yasharallah, and the 1/3 men, women, and children of Yasharallah. Shalom. This is your brother Shamya, coming back at you one more time from the Great Millstone held in the Montana camp. And we just gonna jump right into it. We ain't gonna waste no more time. We always like to make a disclaimer. We are not a hate group and we are not an extremist group. We are a truth group and we only bring out the truth according to the Bible, according to the word of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay? So real quick, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, the Spirit jumped on me to do this lesson. I went into a public restroom, and we see it all the time, Akim. We see these little pamphlets and these little brochures, how you saw these wacky-tacky Christians, they go up in there, leave them on the bathroom stalls and on the sink and shit. This is one that I saw, right? Myths about hell, okay? Because we know that it's going around this hell doctrine where you when you die, you go 50,000 feet underground and you burn forever. You know, you got a lot of these wacky tacky Christians in these false ass churches that teach that false doctrine, but then you got some of these churches that teach that it's not a hell, but then when they go into these precepts, they have no understanding of what they're talking about and they don't break them down. So this article, I'm gonna read this article real quick, and Esau is going to try to attempt to prove that there is no hell. Well, which we know it's not no hell. That also proves too that even some of these churches that know that it's no such thing as hell. Okay, we are in hell. This is for the Israelites. This is our hell. We are in the hellish condition, right? But when you die, you're not gonna go 50,000 feet underground and burn forever. That's not what that's talking about. So let's read this article real quick. Myths about hell, right? So it says, for most people, hell is simply one of a few four-letter words which they hear on a daily basis in the rage of rush hour traffic or the heated scenes of a Hollywood movie. To others, though, the word hell brings back vivid childhood imaginations of an eternal roasting pit for humans, which they heard about from Sunday school or from a fiery televangelist. No matter which category of people you fall into, it seems as though many, if not all of us, would be better off if the concept of hell just didn't exist at all. In fact, some in an attempt to divest their minds of such a fearful idea makes the choice to disbelieve in the idea of hell altogether, which often leads to the next step of choosing to disbelieve in God who would create such a place. Then it reads, in this Bible tract, we will choose another option, which is to simply study what the Bible really has to say about hell. So this is Esau trying to prove that there's no hell, but then he brings out all these precepts and has no understanding on them. It says, and in so doing, you'll find that the truth will set you free from the various myths about this fearful thing. So here go Esau thinking that he has the truth. So then he brings up Matthew 13 and 14. It says in Matthew 13 and 40, Salaki, he brings up Matthew 13 and 49. It says in Matthew 13:49, Yahweh Shai speaks plainly saying, so shall it be at the end of this world. We're going to go into that word world too. It says the angel shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. So that's another word we're going to look into too. Furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth according to this text, and many others like it. The flames of hell will not exist until the end of the world. That's right. So Esau's, trying to make people think that this whole world is going to be destroyed, it's going to be blown up. When the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai clearly said in the scriptures, the earth abideth forever. Right? It says, according to this text and many others like it, the flames of hell will not exist until the end of the world. That's right. Your loved ones are not being burned alive as you read this tract. Next, we see that the Apostle Peter gives us clear information on where hell will be located. Speaking of the end of the world, he says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens will pass away with a great noise, and the elements will melt with fervent heat." Esau didn't get the precept for this, but we're going to get it. We're going to, what he just read right here, we're going to get that precept. Okay? It says, both the earth and the works that are in it will be burnt up. It says the prophet Zephaniah, see, that's Esau didn't bring this precept up too. He just said the prophet Zephaniah, but we're going to get that precept too. It says the prophet Zephaniah also speaks of the whole land being devoured by the fire of his jealousy. Here we see that hell is not some giant chasm of flames in the center of the earth. Rather, it will be located right here on earth. Well, it will be located on here on earth, but not the hell that they talking about. we gonna get it. Okay? It says it will be located right here on earth at the end of the world, devouring the whole land. It says the wicked or to serve, Salakia, the wicked or to burn only until there is nothing left burned. Malachi, here he is again. He didn't bring out the precept for Zephaniah. He didn't bring out the precept for Malachi, but we gonna bring the precepts out. The men of the Lord, us, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua and the elders, apostle, great millstone, the Lord set up. It says the wicked are to be burned only until there is nothing left to burn. Malachi brings this point out well. For behold, the day is coming, burning like an oven, and all the proud, yes, all who do wickedly, will be stubble. And the day which is coming shall burn them up. In fact, just so we could be sure that he was speaking literally about the utter destruction of the wicked, he goes on to say, "You shall trample the wicked, for they shall be ashes." They will be ashes on the soles of your feet. On the day that I do this, said the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua of hosts. And on the day that I do this, says the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua of hosts, also not only will the wicked be destroyed completely in the flames of hell, but so will Satan and his wicked angels, according to Matthew 25 and 41. So, real quick, Matthew 25 and 41, we're going to get that too. And Revelations 20 and 10, this is what he brought up too. He says, and his wicked angels, according to Matthew 25 and 41, and Revelations 20 and 10. Okay? So, it says, contrary to popular belief, God plans to destroy the forces of darkness. Well, the Lord is going to destroy the forces of darkness. But who is that? What's that talking about? Okay, we're going to get that. It says, not put them in charge of an internal fire pit in the center of the earth. So let's just go into this real quick. First, let's go into the word myth, because through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua and the elders, apostle, great millstone, the Lord set up. The Lord set up the elders, apostle, great millstone to teach this doctrine right. So, and then they teach us, and we go and teach it. Okay? And when we only doing these lessons and we go to camp, it's only for the elect. To hell with the 2/3, to hell with all these goddamn heathens. Okay? This truth ain't for everybody. So what I did was I looked into the word myth, because it says myths about hell, because we're gonna bring down even this bullshit that we just read in here. Because Esau tried to go into it, he'll say that, oh, it ain't no such thing as hell, but he still went off. He didn't bring none of the scriptures down. He didn't even bring none of the scriptures out to break it down so people will understand. Okay, he's telling the truth. No, they didn't do that. So we gonna do it. This is for the definition for the word myth. All you gotta do is just Google it. It says myth, a widely held but false belief or idea, misconception, fallacy, mistaken belief, false notion, old wives' tale, fairy tale, fiction, fantasy, delusion. We're breaking down all those delusions, all those fairy tales, the hell doctrine, the virgin birth doctrine, all that shit. Those are fairy tales that Esau made up. Okay? Myth, a widely held but false belief or idea, misconception, fallacy, mistaken belief, false notion, old wives' tale, fairy tale, fiction, fantasy, delusion. Let's go to the book of 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 7. This is 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 7. Because the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua is working. First, this is in the New Testament too. 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 7, it says, let me read this. Let me do this one more time. 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 7. And it reads, but refuse profane and old wives' fables, just like we read for the word myth, right? It says a widely held but false belief or idea, misconception, fallacy, mistaken belief, false notion, old wives' tale. 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 7. It says, but refuse profane and old wives' fables, and exercise thyself rather unto godliness. 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 7 in the Expanded Version Bible, it says, but do not follow, parentheses, reject. We're going to reject all this shit, the false doctrines, the virgin birth, the hell doctrine, all this shit. And we're going to break it down the right way and defend the gospel. Okay? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 7 in the Expanded Version Bible, but do not follow, parentheses, reject foolish stories that disagree with God's truth, parentheses, godless myths and old wives' tales, but train yourself to serve God, parentheses, for godliness and piety. Okay? And we're going to stay faithful and true to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, okay? And worship the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua and teach the right doctrine and godliness and piety. Okay? Now Matthew chapter 13 and verse 49, because Esau said go to it in his little article. He brought up the precept Matthew 13 and 49. He didn't break it down or nothing. This is Matthew 13 and 49. Matthew 13 and verse 49. Call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahushua, hallelujah. This is Matthew chapter 13 verse 49 and 50. This is in the red, Yahushua speaking. It says, so shall it be at the end of the world. See that word world, right? See, Esau didn't break it down in his little brochure, his little pamphlet. Matthew chapter 13, verse 49 and 50. This is Yahushua speaking. So shall it be at the end of the world. The angel shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just. Verse 50, and shall cast them into the lake, into the furnace of fire. See right here, it says furnace of fire. But we're going to break that down too. So we're going to go into the word world and we're going to go into the word furnace of fire. And shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Right? This is Matthew 13 and verse 49. We're going to go into the word world. Strong's Concordance for world. G165. It says forever an unbroken age. So we just proved right there that this, when it says so shall it be at the end of the world is not going to be blowed up and be just destroyed. The Lord, no, that's not what that means. This word world in Matthew 13 and 49 is a different world. What's this world? It's not talking about ointment. It ain't talking about cosmos. It's talking about G165, ion. The definition, forever, an unbroken age. So we read Matthew chapter 13 and verse 49 says, so shall it be at the end of the age. We're at the end of Esau's age, the end of the age of the Edomites, and we're coming into the age of the Israelites. Okay? Esau is the end of this world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. We are at the end of Esau's age. This is Matthew 13 and 49 for the word world. Strong's Concordance G165, forever, an unbroken age, perpetuity of time, eternity, period of time, age. Matthew chapter 13 and verse 49 in the NIV, It says, this is how it will be at the end of the age. But see, Esau didn't break that down in his little pamphlet. This is Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 21. Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 21. It says, unto him be glory in the church by Hamashiach Yahushai throughout all ages, world without end. Now in Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 21, in the easy version translation, it says, God's people. It says, unto him be glory unto him be glory to God's people. So when it says Ephesians 3 and 21, it says, unto him be glory in the church by Hamashiach Yahushua. That's in the King James Version. It says church. Easy version translation, it says God's people. So that clearly shows you who is God's people. The Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and speckled bird. Ephesians 3:21, easy version translation, it says, unto him be glory to God's people, right? King James Version, unto him be glory in the church of the Israelites. We just read it. God's people, easy version translation, right? King James Version, it says, unto him be glory in the church by Hamashiach Yahushai throughout all ages, world without end. Right? What does it say, world without end? That's in Isaiah chapter 45 verse 17 too. Let's read that. How do we know this is talking about the Israelites? Well, we're going to read it. Because this is how we know this is talking about the Israelites. Isaiah 45 and verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. With an everlasting salvation, ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. Ephesians 3:21. Unto him be glory to the church by Hamashiach Yahushai throughout all ages, world without end. Amen. This is Ephesians chapter 3, verse 21. For the word world, Strong's Concordance G165. Ion, age. Now let's go back to Matthew chapter 13 and verse 49. But we're going to read verse 42 and verse 50. This is Matthew chapter 13 and verse 42. This is Yahushua speaking in the red. Matter of fact, I'm going to read verse 41. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and them which do iniquity. Who's the Son of Man? That's Yahushua Mashiach. Verse 42, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire, just like what it says in Matthew chapter 13 and verse 50, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. Verse 42, it says, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Right? That's what it says in verse 42 and verse 50. Okay? Now, verse 42, on the bottom of my page on Matthew chapter 13 and verse 42, because verse 42 says, and it shall cast them into a furnace of fire. Let me put this up to the screen. So on the bottom of my clip notes to Matthew 13 and 42, it tells us to go to Revelations 19:20 and Revelations 20 and 10. Because remember in Matthew chapter 13 verse 42, it says furnace of fire. In verse 50, it says furnace of fire. But it tells us to go to Revelations chapter 19 verse 20 and verse 20 to 10. So let's get that real quick. See, because we're breaking this down. What is that furnace of fire? What is that talking about? Revelations 19 and 20. It reads, and the beast was taken with him, the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that have received the mark of the beast. This is what's going to happen to those Israelites that take that MOTB. Okay, this is what's going to happen. It says, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire, burning with brimstone. See, in Matthew chapter 13 and verse 42 and verse 50, it says furnace of fire. But then Matthew chapter 13 verse 42 tells us to go to Revelations 19 and 20, which is what we're reading. Right here it says lake of fire. So the furnace of fire, that's the lake of fire. That's the same thing. So the question is, what is the lake of fire? Revelations chapter 20, verse 10, when it says right here, and them that worshiped his image, these both were cast into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. Okay? But now let's get Revelations chapter 20 and verse 10. It says this, and the devil that deceived them, we're going to go into that word devil too. We know who the devil is. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire. There it is again in Revelations 20 and 10. We read it in Revelations 19 and 20. Now we're reading in Revelations 20 and 10. Revelations 20 and 10. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. Okay? So now real quick, let's go to 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. This is 2 Peter chapter 3, 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, 2 Peter 3 and 10, it reads, but the day of the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah, will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. What type of thing can melt all the elements on the earth with fervent heat? What type of thing can do that? That's the question. It says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. What type of thing can do that? What can do that? Can melt all the elements? This is Zephaniah 1 verse 15 to 18, because in this pamphlet, Esau brought up Zephaniah, but he didn't bring the precept up. But we're going to bring the precept up and break it down. This is Zephaniah. Okay. This is Zephaniah. Real quick. This is Zephaniah. Okay. Zephaniah 1, verse 15 to 18. This is a prophecy that's going to come to pass. Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 15 to 18. It says that that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. See, what happened was, what's going to happen is this. We know the elements that shall melt with fervent heat. What that's talking about them ICBM nuclear missiles. When the Lord sends his weapons of indignation, those ICBM nuclear missiles to destroy this place, it's going to be so horrific that it's going to block out the sun. It's going to be clouds and thick darkness and smoke. We're reading it right here in the scriptures. It says, the day of the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah, is near. It is near. It hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. Verse 15, that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Verse 16, a day of the trumpet, an alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and their blood shall be poured out as dust. Ain't going to be nothing left but dust. The Lord's going to destroy this place, nothing but dust. Everything, the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The Lord is going to destroy this place. And their flesh as the dung. Verse 18, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. Okay, that was Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 15 to 18. Now let's go to Malachi. Let's go to Malachi. Malachi chapter 4, because Esau brought Malachi out in this pamphlet, but he didn't bring out the precept. He just said Malachi, he brought Zephaniah and Malachi, but he didn't bring out the precepts. But we're going to bring them out. This is Malachi chapter 4 and verse 1. The title in the New Living Translation reads, The Coming Day of Judgment, just like we read in Zephaniah. Malachi 4 and 1, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. The Lord is going to burn this place down with them ICBM nuclear missiles. Right? Now Malachi 4 and 1, on the bottom of my page on the Cliff Notes, look at where it says go to. 2 Peter 3 and 7. We read 2 Peter 3 and 10, but let's read 2 Peter 3 and 7. Let's read 2 Peter 3 and 7. Let's see what it says. See, because this is all through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, okay? And the elders apostles, great millstone the Lord set up. This is 2 Peter 3 and 7. It says, but the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire, against the day of judgment and the perdition of ungodly men. Let me read it again. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire, against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. Malachi 4:1 told us to go to 2 Peter 3 and 7. And we read 2 Peter 3 and 10, I'm going to read it again. But the day of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. The Lord is going to destroy this place with ICBM nuclear missile fire. Okay? Now, Matthew chapter 25 and verse 41. Matthew chapter 25. Real quick. Okay. Let's get this real quick. Because Esau brought up Matthew 25 and 41 and Revelations 20 and 10. It's funny how he brought these up, but he didn't bring out the precepts to Zephaniah or Malachi. But he brought out the precepts to Matthew 25 and 41 and Revelations 20 and 10. Okay? So let's get Matthew 25 and 41. Matthew 25 and 41. This is what it reads. Matthew 25 and 41. It says this. This is Yahushua speaking. It says, then shall he say also unto them on the left hand. Now the title in the New Living Translation to Matthew 25, by the 31st chapter, the title reads Matthew 25, the 25th chapter, by the 31st verse. In the New Living Translation, the title reads the final judgment. This will be the final judgment. Okay? This is Matthew chapter 25 and verse 41. It says, then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, this is talking about the Yahushua is talking about the wicked. This shall he say unto them on the left hand, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devils and his angels. So Esau brought this verse up, but he didn't break it down, right? So I'm reading again. It says, then shall he say also unto them unto the left hand, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels, right? So real quick, what we're going to do, we're going to look up that word for devil. In Matthew chapter 25, verse 41, we're going to look up that word devil. Okay? Let's see if this is talking about like the devil with a pitchfork and a red jumpsuit on that's 50,000 feet underground. This is Matthew chapter 25, verse 41 for the word devil. Strong's Concordance G1228. This is the Strong's Concordance for devil. In Matthew 25 and 41. G1228. Definition. It says, prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely, metaphorically applied to a man who by opposing the cause of God may be said to act the part of the devil. And we know who that devil is talking about. That's Esau, Edom. These Edomites, they're the devil that the Bible speaks of. We'll read it again. Matthew chapter 25, verse 41 for the word devil. Strong's Concordance G1228. Prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely. Esau is always accusing Jacob. Metaphorically applied to a man who by opposing the cause of God may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him. Right? Let's go to Revelations 2 and 10. Revelations 2 and 10. Let me see real quick. Revelations. No, is that Revelations 2 and 10? Or, let me see real quick. Let's see. Yep. Matter of fact, hold on a second. Let me see. Okay, so let me see. Revelations. I think that's Revelations 20. Revelations 20 and 10. Let me see real quick. Okay, so let's see. Revelations. Real quick. Revelations. Here it is, right here at the Wadi Al Bashim Yahushua. This is Revelations chapter 2 and verse 10. This is Yahushua speaking in the red. He's warning us and letting us know what's going to happen before it happens. So Yahushua is telling us, don't fear. When these things happen, don't fear, because I already told you these things are going to happen. This is Yahushua Mashiach speaking. Revelations 2 and 10. It says this: fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, just like what we read in Matthew chapter 25 verse 41 for the word devil, G1228, right? It says metaphorically applied to a man, right? This is Revelations chapter 2 and verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, who is Esau, Edom, the Edomites, it says the devil shall cast some of you into prison. Now is the devil with a red pitchfork and a red jumpsuit that's 50,000 feet under the ground. is he gonna literally cast us into prison? That don't make no damn sense. Revelations 2:10, it says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So the key point right here is for when it says Revelations 2:10 for the word devil, right here, Revelations 2:10 for devil has the same concordance that we read in Matthew chapter 25 and verse 41 for devil. Revelations 2:10, devil, Strong's Concordance G1228. Strong's Concordance G1228. So that showed you that's not talking about a guy with a jumpsuit, red jumpsuit on a pitchfork. That's talking about a man. Okay? Who what? What's the definition again for devil? Strong's Concordance G1228, prone to slander, slanderous, accusing. Esau in these last days, the devil, he going to accuse Jake. You know? Throw some of us into prison. It says prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely, metaphorically applied to a man whom by opposing the cause of God may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him. Right? We read Revelations 2:10, how the devil, Esau, Edom, is going to cast some of us into prison. Right? Accuse us, try to put, slander us in these last days. Revelations 2:10 in the CJB Bible. Revelations 2:10 in the CJB Bible. The CJB Bible, that's the complete Jewish Bible. Revelations 2:10, it says, don't be afraid of what you are about to suffer. Look, the adversary, because Esau is the adversary, is going to have some of you thrown in prison. So when in this pamphlet, when Esau brought out Matthew 25 and 41, he says, and his wicked angels, according to Matthew 25 and 41, that Esau, that's fables. See that? Fables, false, fairy tales. That devil, that's Esau, Edom. Okay? Esau, Edom. Okay? So we're going to wrap it up, Akim. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash Barakatah. Double honors to the elders and the apostles and the righteous men of great millstone who teach us his truth and righteousness and sincerity and in brotherly love. Until the next lesson, let's stay strong, Akim. We almost home. Kwam Yasharala. Shalom.